What's up, peeps? And welcome to another Power Packed Phillips podcast. Please make yourself a note somewhere. Homework tonight is workbook page 29, problems 18 and 19. Homework, workbook page 29, problems 18 and 19. Don't forget. All right, I would like you guys to take out a piece of graph paper and draw yourself a coordinate grid. As always, you're going to go to the right to positive 10. You're going to go up to positive 10. You're going to go left to negative 10. And you're going to go down, to negative 10. Take a stapler, staple it into your spiral. Pause this podcast. Please draw your coordinate grid. And then hit play on the podcast. TY. BTW. You can keep drinking the haterade. Yeah, buddy. Alrighty. This is going to be lesson 4.3, part 2. Graphing using intercepts. We did it the other day, but it won't hurt to review it again. If you would, please write down the equation negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 15. We're going to make a table and graph this linear equation. Remember, before you graph it, the easiest way to work the problem is to rewrite it so that y is the tornado. So I am going to move the negative or minus 3x to the other side, get it away from the tornado. To do that, I'm going to do the inverse. The inverse of subtracting 3x is adding 3x. Whatever I do to one side, I am going to do to the other. These will cancel. Do not get tricked. You cannot combine those. They are not like terms. This has a variable. This does not have a variable. So you need to think of them as one as a star, one as a heart. If that doesn't work for you, this person has a dog, this person is allergic to dogs. Don't put them together. Just take the plus 3x and write it over here. Okay, so now our equation should look like this. 5y equals negative 15 plus 3x. We are going to move the 5. I remember the crazy math teacher saying that when the coefficient is touching the variable, that means multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. I'm going to divide everything, every term by 5. These will cancel, bada bing, bada boom. I now have negative 15 divided by 5. Negative 15 divided by 5 equals negative 3. If the bad guy is leaving town, oh, my bad, MB, I should say, if the bad guy is coming to town, everybody is sad. SRY-MB. Moving on, get over it. Now we have 3 over 5. You cannot simplify 3 over 5. It's already in lowest terms. So, when we rewrite the equation, we should have y equals, we have our negative 3. There's our negative 3. We have 3/5 because we could not simplify 3/5 x up here. So, let's make a table and graph it. Make yourself a t-table. X on the left, y on the right. We are going to pick 3 numbers. The first number I'm going to pick is 0. I'm going to take out the x. I am going to substitute or put in 0. They were touching each other, so that means multiplication. So now I have 3/5, highlighter, 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 thank you, times 0, because I have to do PEMDAS. 3/5 times 0 is going to give me 0. A negative 3 plus 0 gives me negative 3. So I'm going to take that negative 3 and I'm going to put it underneath the y. Now normally, the crazy math teacher says, pick small numbers. So normally I would pick 1 and 2. However, if I pick 1 and 2, I'm going to be stuck with a fraction. And I don't want to work with fractions. So I notice right here that my denominator is 5. So instead of picking 1 and 2, I'm going to pick numbers that count by 5. If my denominator was 4, I would pick numbers that count by 4. If my denominator was 7, I would pick numbers that count by 7. Get the picture? I hope so. So since I want to get rid of that denominator, I am going to pick numbers over here that count by 5. So I'm going to pick 5. I'm going to take out the x. I'm going to put in 5. They were touching each other, so that means multiplication. I am going to make this a fraction by giving it a denominator of 1. So I'm going to do 3/5 times 5 over 1. Top times top, bottom times bottom. Multiplying fractions ain't a problem. For most of you it isn't. LOL. 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 1 is 5. Now, this means 15 divided by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. I'm going to bring down the negative 3. A negative 3 plus 3 gives me 0. So in this case, y is going to be 0. So we're going to take that 0 and we are going to put it up here in our chart. And I'm so good. Most of the time, I already had it. So we're going to put 0 right there. Now, remember, I want to pick numbers that count by 5. So I already used 5. Why don't we use 10? Because I want to get rid of that denominator. So I'm going to take out the x, and I'm going to put in 10, because I'm counting by numbers by 5. They were touching each other, that means multiplication. Make a fraction, denominator 1. So now I'm going to do multiplication first, top times top, bottom times bottom. Multiplying fractions ain't a problem. That gives me 30 over 5. 30 divided by 5 gives me 6. So now I have negative 3 plus 6. Negative 3 plus 6 is going to give me positive 3 or 3. I'm going to take that 3 and I'm going to put it back in my chart. Oh no, what happened to you? There we go. Take that 3, put it back in the chart. Look at that, I'm so good. I already had it there. Ta-da! Now, I'm going to take my ordered pairs and I'm going to graph them. So, start at the middle. 0, freeze, don't go anywhere. Negative 3, go down. Boom. 5, start back in the middle, go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, all those times you watched Sesame Street paid off. 0, freeze right there. Start in the middle. Right 10, up 3. Right 10, up 3. Draw yourself a line, arrows on both ends. Please notice and label on your paper that the y-intercept is right here at negative 3. The x-intercept is right here at 5. We're almost done. Hang tight for a second. BRB. Alrighty peeps, let's do the same problem, but let's just do it a different way. The way that we're going to do it this time is to graph using intercepts. I think it's a little quicker way than making that big long table and rewriting the problem as a tornado. So I am not going to rewrite the equation with y as a tornado this time because it's a different way. Remember, you do not have to do it this way. You pick the way that's easiest for you. I just want to show you a different way. All right, write the equation negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 15 on your paper again, please. Remember, same problem, different way. All right, make yourself a note. We are going to let x equal 0 this time. Let x equal 0. So we're going to substitute 0 for x and solve. So make your t-table. X on the left, y on the right. 0 for x, and let's put a question mark for y. So if I put in 0 for x, they're touching each other. That means I have negative 3 times 0. Well, that's going to give me 0, so I'm going to cover it up. So now I'm left with 5y equals negative 15. I'm going to solve that equation, which means I am going to divide both sides of the equation by 5. When I do that, bada bing, bada boom, these will cancel. I have negative 15 divided by 5. Negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3. Remember, if the bad guy is coming to town, everybody is sad. So I now have y equals negative 3. I'm going to take that negative 3 and I'm going to put it up here in my chart. And I'm going to take out the question mark. Now, in your chart, I would like you to put 0 for y, put 0 in for y, and I want you to put a question mark over here underneath x. So we said we're going to let y be 0. We're going to substitute 0 in for y, plug and chug. The 5 is touching the y, so that means 5 times 0. Well, 5 times 0 is going to give me 0, so I'm just going to cover that up. Now my equation is negative 3x equals negative 15. What am I going to do? I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by negative 3. If the bad guy is leaving town, everybody is happy. Yay, hurrah! Bad guy is leaving town. Everybody is happy. So that's going to give me x is 5 or positive 5. We are going to clone one of these guys. Let's clone this guy. So we're going to take that 5 and we're going to put it up here. Oh, I am so good. I already had it there. If only the Cubs could be that good. Okay, now I'm going to graph the ordered pairs. So I have 0, negative 3, and 5, 0. So look at your graph paper again. We're going to go freeze, nowhere, then down 3. Freeze, nowhere, and down 3. Boy, I think this is starting to look like the first graph we did. Right 5, and then 0, freeze. Right 5, and then 0, freeze. I'm thinking that the y-intercept is the same as the first one. Y, negative 3. I'm thinking that the x-intercept is the same as the first one. 5. How about that? So strange. We get the same graph. It's just a different way to do it. The first way was kind of like that walk behind lawnmower. You can do it. To me, this way is a little faster. It's like the riding lawnmower. Keep in mind, you do not have to do the problem this way. It's just a different way. You pick the way that's easiest for you. Thanks for watching. BTW, if you have a riding lawnmower, my lawn sure could use a mow. Bye.